me tell you how it will be.
Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You know that music. That means one and only tax man Bob Loeser is in the house. Good to see you, sir.
He's back.
Yeah.
Good morning. How are you? You have a good Thanksgiving?
I had a great one. I gained some pounds, which is the objective, right?
That's right. That's right. But as minimal as possible.
Right. Went up to Abilene, Texas, and had a great time with cold environment, in terms of the temperature, but warm hearts in my family. Loved hanging out with my brother and his family. They are just incredibly awesome.
Great. That cold weather opens up your sinuses.
Yeah, or something. I think I prefer spicy food. But anyway, so how about you? What'd you do?
Stayed home. Kids came back from college, and it was nice and quiet. Watched a lot of football and ate a lot, but I tried to moderate my desserts so that I didn't put on too much weight, only 2 pounds.
2 pounds, very good. Now, where do your kids go to school again?
One's in town, other side of town, U of H. And the older one is at A&M.
Go Aggies. There you go. Very good. Talk a little bit about where people should be at today when it comes to the tax front. We're going to talk about that. Then in the next segment, by the way, we're going to talk about Mark Zuckerberg's generosity and see how long it lasts.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's generating it in my direction.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's the first week of December, and those that haven't started thinking about cleaning out their garages and closets for Goodwill and other charitable donations should at this point, because anything that is sitting there that they're going to clean out in the spring anyways, if they do now, will be tax deductible at what they call fair market value, which is not what you bought a shirt for at $25, but what its true value is right now at $5. And as long as you're conservative on that, and when you get your tag from Goodwill or whoever it is, make a list of, hey, 12 shirts at $5 a piece, 4 pairs of sneakers at $12 a piece, etc., they will accept that as you making a good intent offer as to what it was worth. Now, if you list the sneakers at $75 a piece because they were at one point Michael Jordan brand new, they're going to laugh and go, I don't think so. All right, but if you do, again, something reasonable at what they call thrift shop prices, they're fine with that.
Yeah. And what's interesting, or I think even generous, is they let you put in the pricing.
Correct.
Correct. They're not going to sit there and estimate and insult you.
Correct. But at the same time, when the IRS if they do get involved, they just want to see reasonableness. Mm-hmm. They don't necessarily want to know what make of shirt it was or what pair of jeans it was. They just want to make sure that you made some attempt rather than just put a total that says $1,250 on it when it was really only worth $610.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. What's the next big deadline out there for people?
Well, we've gotten past really all the state, like the franchise and whatnot, that was November 15th. We're now at year end as to estimated tax payments for those that don't have enough taken out of their paycheck or have side income from interest and dividends and sale of stocks and properties and those things. The last payment to make sure that you're 90% covered for this year or 110% of last year's taxes, with some exceptions, is January 15th. So we're doing a lot of tax planning for our clients right now and guesstimating where they stand. And they'll go, oh, by the way, I did this or I sold that. And now all of a sudden I'm glad they called because they may have to write a check for $17,000. But if they write a check for $17,000 in January, it may save them $1,500 in penalties. Mm-hmm. All right. And, some don't realize that, or some will go, Bob, you billed me $200 for doing that estimate. And I said, yeah, but I just saved you $1,200 a penalty by knowing. And I said, my dad used to call that a win-win situation.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
certainly a no-brainer.
I had one instance, and client's got some stock options from ExxonMobil, and he's cashing them out. And his income is over $6 million. And he thought he had it sort of down pat that by his calculation on his TurboTax or whatever, his tax due was about $143,000. Well, it wasn't right. It was $183,000. All right, but he thought he'd have to pay the $143 or whatever it was all by January 15th. Wrong. Mm-hmm. Because that 90% rule of current year and 110% rule of prior year, he only has to write a check for $100,000. Now, I say only, okay, he's got it to pay, so that's not an issue. But the other 60, he can wait until April 15th, which I look at it from standpoint is even if it's sitting in a 1% money market, you're going to earn 4 months worth of interest on that $64,000,
exactly,
rather than writing them a check because you didn't know any better, or you were your own attorney, so to speak, and representing yourself rather than having a third party take a look at it and independently give you judgment.
Yeah, all of those people out there who like their big refunds, you know what? The government thanks you very much.
Right. Well, I'm totally against that this year.
Yeah.
I've told you over the year that we had about 15 clients that had $20,000 refunds or more, and I was included in one of them. Mm-hmm. That the government took anywhere from 12 to 20 weeks to pay those refunds. Now, again, I think we all must have checked that idiot box that said we were Tea Partyists or Republicans or whatever the case may be, because we didn't get our money, all right? But those that you knew were not Tea Partyists and not Republicans and didn't have $20,000 refunds but had $2,000 to $3,000, they got theirs in the 4 to 6 weeks that was promised back on February 1st by the administration, that no problem, we'll get your refund. So I'm going the opposite way this year with my clients. Owe some money.
Yeah.
Well, but we're used to the refund. I said, we'll just put it in your pocket now.
Yeah. You accumulate the interest instead of the government.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I'll give myself my own thank you note for keeping the money in my pocket. They don't give us a thank you note for giving it to them early.
Absolutely. Taxman Bob Loeser. We love having him on the program, and you can tell why. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about some stuff happening in the political and in the philanthropic front when we get right back here on The Price of
Let me
Business.
tell you how it will be. There's one for you, 19 for me.